And we're live. What's going on, D-Bags? Hope you guys are doing well. We're back here again with another episode of the Detox Podcast, episode 251 to be exact. And if you're new here and you enjoy music, podcasts, comedy, or hooping videos, do consider subscribing. We've got a whole lot of that stuff going on around here. Also, my name is Darren Rita. Feel free to connect with me at any of the links down below. And if you are new here and you haven't yet subscribed and all that good stuff, please do, because it helps us share conversations and laughs like these with more people. So do that. It helps us out a ton. Now, before I can introduce you guys to my guest this week, and I know you read the title, we're getting into some juicy stuff. Before we can get into all that, though, we got to talk a little bit about your personal grooming, because you're doing it wrong. We've all been there before, right? Maybe it's date night. Maybe you waited a few weeks too long to trim the hedges, and now that cutesy little garden you had has turned into a bit of a sprawling, moist rainforest of sorts, all right? Not the best type of deal. So what do? You reach for that cheap razor you got from where? Kmart, Blue Light Special, fought an old lady, all right? You fought an old lady for this razor, and now you're trying to shave your junk with it. It's not a good bet. It's not safe. You're risking your most prized possessions. You don't got to do that anymore. You got to Go Nutz. Go Nutz is a revolutionary, okay, first of its kind product that's unlike anything else on the market. It's a brand new personal grooming device. It's shaped like a ball. It's for your balls. It's for everywhere, actually, below the neck. But it's got a patented design, the one that's right here on the front of the box. It comes with two attachments. This one here, the patented one, is designed to not cut you or leave you with razor burns and stuff like that. So give them a try today. That's thegonutz.com. You can use code RITA47 to save a little bit of cash at the at the checkout there, and you help support the channel too. So check them out. That's thegonutz.com, code RITA47 to save a little bit of cash and get your grooming done right. With all that good stuff out of the way, I'm excited. I'm really excited to be chatting with my guest this week. She's an extremely knowledgeable teacher and is going to be teaching us all about the world of Taylor Swift. Let's give it up for the world's biggest Swiftie. Lily is in the building. How are you? A wet round of applause here. Wet. That's how we usually do it.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
You feel good?
Yeah, I'm excited.
You've got some Taylor merch on right now.
Yeah, this is actually from the Fearless tour in 2008.
Wow.
So
Craziness. Let's give some people some backstory real quick on how we're here doing this episode today. So you're a friend of Coco, who's been on the show a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
And we met like a few weeks back at my show.
Yeah.
And you were like, yo, maybe now's not the time, but I would love to do the podcast. And you said to me, I'm the biggest Taylor Swift fan in the world. And then you showed me your shirt, and you were wearing a different Taylor Swift shirt.
Yeah.
And I was like, that sounds awesome. Let's do that. And now here we are.
Mm-hmm.
And so what was like, what's the definition, before we get into all this Swiftie madness, before we start taking a look at maybe some of the era's lore and stuff like that, what's the definition of a Swiftie?
It's just anyone who supports her and loves her music
Yeah.
and just loves to share the love of her music with the world.
Okay, so what does it take to be considered a Swiftie then? Just like, is there levels to this Swiftie game?
Well, yes and no. Like, if you're like a new Swiftie and you like her because of like her recent album, like that doesn't make you any less of a Swiftie than someone who's been a Swiftie since 2006. But like,
yeah,
they're like, if you go to like the Eras tour, you're pretty much like, all her eras, and
Really?
like all the songs.
Would we count each album an era?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's impressive. So she's got a lot of eras.
Yep.
Do we do a separate era for like the old versions of albums versus the Taylor's version of
I'll
album?
get into that.
We'll get into that.
Mhm.
Okay. So a Swiftie is just anybody who fucks with Taylor Swift, essentially.
Yeah.
I fuck with Taylor Swift, so I'm a Swiftie then.
Yeah.
Me and Swift. I'm a big Drake stan. People would say I'm one of the bigger Drake stans online.
Well, Drake's a
Right?
Swiftie.
He's a Swiftie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said that she's like the biggest boss in the rap game. He just said that on his recent. He was making fun of Kendrick Lamar, but he was saying, because I think Kendrick, she's still on a label right now, right?
Yeah.
She's still on. I think she's on an offshoot of or connected with the same label as Kendrick Lamar, and he was referencing that's why Kendrick Lamar couldn't release a response to him, was because Taylor Swift's album was coming out. And the label was like, no, we want to focus on that. Because she's the boss, bro.
Yeah.
She's the one who's got the numbers to back it,
And Drake's like, I always push my albums back
for Taylor Swift. Yeah. He said that's the only person in the music game that he would push an album back for.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty crazy because Drake's like, I believe, I could be wrong, maybe Taylor Swift, maybe this is just rap, but I believe he's like the most streamed artist ever. Is Taylor Swift more?
She beat him recently.
she's now more streamed
Yep.
than him. So they're probably just gonna keep going back and forth every time they drop an album.
they're
I
like
imagine.
head to head. Like it's really close.
Wow, that's
Mhm.
crazy. They did you remember that Beats commercial they did a long time
Yeah.
ago? Yeah, that was iconic.
It was pretty.
So we're like on the same team, bro. Me and you.
Yeah.
I'm a Drake stan here. We got the Swifties in the building. So becoming a Swiftie, what would I know you've been a Swiftie basically your whole life.
Yeah,
Since
18 of my 26 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
So since you've been there since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But I'm curious, like, what now? Like, if you saw someone in the wild, would help you determine that they are a Swiftie? Like, what's the Swiftie starter pack? Give me like the three essential
I was
things.
just talking to my mom about this yesterday.
Oh yeah.
We were at Target, and I had one of my Taylor Swift cardigans on, and they were like, "Oh, I love your cardigan. Like, I have the same one. That's my favorite era." And like, she's like, "You really just attract people by wearing Taylor Swift merch?" I'm like, "Yeah, like,
Dude, she's bringing people together.
yeah, it's just you wear merch in public, and you just attract the Swifties."
So what are the tells aside from maybe merch? Give me like 2 or 3 tells of that, like that person's got to be a Swiftie.
Like if they're hardcore, like lurking in like the music section at Target on a release date or the day before, seeing if they accidentally put it out early. There's a group of us.
Oh yeah. You guys are trying to lurk around the album section, the vinyls. Do you get them on vinyl?
Yeah, and CD. I've always been
Wow.
a CD collector.
Holy
so.
shit. That is why she does so many sales.
I actually own 62 Taylor Swift CDs.
For reference, so I'm an artist, right? And I don't drop physical copies of my music. To do one physical sale of an album in today's day with streams is 1,500 streams ish.
Mm-hmm.
So, do the math. 62 times 1,500. You're responsible for that, dude. That's pretty insane.
And the Tortured Poets Department, her latest one, just like was the most streamed in a single day. Like
I did see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's insane.
Mhm.
That is nuts. While we're going, we've got Coco's in the chat. She says, "Tell Lily to talk into the mic a little more." Yeah, you want to pull this up a little bit?
Sorry.
No, you're okay. This is bendable, so however feels comfortable to you. Yeah, that's good right there.
Okay.
But and McKenna says, "OMG, yeah, that's crazy, dude. 62. I don't think I ever owned 62 CDs in my life. So that's impressive from just
I used
one
to
artist.
own a ton, like when I was little. So
Wow.
I just keep collecting Taylor ones.
What's the most Swiftie thing you've ever done?
Well, last year when she announced the Eras tour and she like announced the pre-sale day, I took PTO for the pre-sale.
Holy shit.
And then I was in the queue for 13 hours
Oh my.
to get tickets, and it kept crashing. And I actually didn't even end up with tickets that day. So then, like 2 weeks later, they sent emails to people who got a pre-sale code. So I was waitlisted. Shout out to my husband, because he is the one that got a code for pre-sale.
You had him sitting on this queue too?
Oh, no. I
Oh.
just got his code, and I went on, like, on his
Oh.
Ticketmaster account.
Yeah.
But shout out to him, because he's the only reason I got a code.
Holy cow.
And so 2 weeks later, they sent him an email, and it was like, you have 24 hours to claim 2 tickets, and you could like pick your price range.
Yeah.
And so that's how I got my tickets to the Eras tour.
Pick your price range. I mean, like what you're willing to
Like,
spend.
yeah,
and
so
then-
they have like 3 tiers of price ranges. I did the lowest tier, and I actually I didn't get nosebleeds. I got like mid bowl.
Yeah.
It was really good.
What was
And we
the
were,
price on those, if you don't mind?
$149 each.
$149.
Which, if you go on StubHub today, they are like like 1,000 to 3,000 each. Like, it's insane.
Yeah, you probably could have flipped them.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
You
done
wouldn't
that
have.
though.
Yeah. I know you wouldn't have. I know for a fact. But yeah, that would have been good money. That'd been a big come up. Damn. Okay, that's not as bad though. I've seen some people who spend like $800. I know people personally who've spent like $800 plus for one ticket to go
yeah, it was actually my Christmas present from my dad last year. He like let me use his Capital One card for them.
Wow.
So.
Oh yeah, wasn't there something?
Yeah.
Like Ticketmaster does some shit. I know for my sister is the equivalent of you for Harry Styles.
Oh yeah, I know a couple people like
Yeah.
that for Harry Styles
yeah.
too.
So she's seen him a million times, and I know one of her friends. I don't know if maybe it was Capital One, something with Ticketmaster and whatever. If you had a certain card, you got like pushed in the line or something.
Yeah.
So she found a friend's dad who had that card, and yeah.
And you actually get like merch and stuff with a Capital One card too. Like I use it for like giveaways and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. Yeah, that's next level. So okay, so you took PTO. That's pretty Swiftie. Taking PTO to see to see if you could get a ticket.
I took PTO on Friday for her album release, and I've done it like 3 times too. But I had another reason to take Friday off, but that was the original reason I took Friday off.
Wow. So. What would you do if a student came to you and they were like, "Hey, Teach, I really would have loved to finish this homework, but Taylor Swift's album was coming out and I couldn't sleep. I needed to focus on that."
I think I would support it, honestly.
Yeah. Holy shit.
I'd be like, it's okay, like we'll work on it together in class and I'll catch you up.
And we'll listen to the album. We'll listen to the album while we work on it. Wow.
There's some songs on her new album I don't think my students should listen to though. Personally. Yeah.
Does she get I haven't listened to the new album. I know there's a Fortnite song on there, but it's not about the game, which is sad.
No, but featuring Post Malone. And there's a music video for it too.
I heard it's really good.
Yeah, her new album's really good.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Where does it rank?
It's okay, so I have a ranking and it's number 3 in my ranking.
Wow, it's number 3 all time.
Mm-hmm.
Just came out. And who knows, maybe that might move up the more you're acquainted with it.
I don't know. Nothing's going to beat Reputation.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to get into all that stuff in a minute, too. I'm curious, before we kind of get to, you have a presentation that you want to show us, and that I'm curious to learn more about. Taylor Swift, your journey as a Swiftie, what it means, all of this stuff, what it means, and all that entanglement.
Well, you told me you wanted a PowerPoint.
I did. I thought a PowerPoint would be fun, and you very much delivered on that. We'll get to that in a second. But before we do,
shout out to my husband for helping me.
Shout out to your husband, bro. He's out here. Facilitating your Swiftiness.
Oh, yes.
He's helping.
He's very supportive of my second job as a Swiftie.
Yeah. Is he a Swiftie too, would you say?
I've converted him.
Yeah.
I told him, I'm like, if you want to go to the Eras tour with me, like, you need to learn everything. Like, he only knew, like, her first 2 albums. I was like, nah, like, you're going to learn everything.
Which ones speak to him? Which songs?
You Belong With Me is, like, his favorite. That's his jam. Like, he loves it. But he actually really likes Midnights, her last album that she came out with. And I was surprised because he's like a country guy. Like, he loves country music, but he really liked Midnights. So he's kind of afraid to listen to the Tortured Poets department. He's like, what if I don't like it as much as Midnights?
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Holy shit, man. So you really converted him. It feels that's like, some people say that the Swiftie stuff is a little culty. Do you feel that way?
No, but my dad would very much say that it is.
Yeah? What does he say?
Oh, well, okay. So,
well, I guess, he's like, you have to beg him to use his credit card for random.
Oh, I did something really bad when I was 9 that we'll get to in a minute, too.
Okay, all right.
But my brother got me a Taylor Swift prayer candle for my birthday. It's literally like her face on Jesus.
Yeah.
Because he thinks that it's a cult.
Yeah. That's good that you kept it though.
I did.
You still have it. Is it on the shrine?
I left it at my parents' house, but I'm gonna bring it home now, and it'll be on my.
Do you have a shrine?
I do.
That is pretty. Yeah. That's on some cult stuff.
I
right
have
there.
like a cube shelf where I put all my stuff.
Wow.
At my house.
Do you have a picture of that?
I do.
I might have you not right now.
Okay.
Maybe towards the end, you pull that up and we'll show them.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. I'm excited to see it. But let's get into your presentation. Or before that, I guess I wanted to ask, what do people get wrong about Taylor? What do people get wrong about Taylor Swift?
Ooh.
Because she's like, right now, I say this a lot on this podcast, with the way the world is with social media and everything. Now I could be super famous. I could have 50 million subscribers on YouTube, tons of monthly listeners, selling out arenas, and there could still be a huge chunk of people in the world that don't know who I am. Whereas like maybe 20, 30 years ago, if you were famous, there was only so many seats at that table, so everybody knew who was famous. Mm-hmm. Taylor, as well as like someone who I'm a fan of, Drake, like that, she's in that last generation, I think, of celebrities that like got famous at that sweet spot where they were famous to everybody, but she's continued that now through this new age. Mm-hmm. She's one of the most famous people on the planet. What do people get wrong about her? There's a lot of talk about her.
Okay, so one thing that a lot of people get wrong is they think she just writes about relationships and like guys that have done her wrong.
Yeah.
And that is not true at all. Like, she's got some very like deep cut songs about things in her life. Like, her mom was diagnosed with cancer in 2018 and she has a song on Lover called Soon You'll Get Better. And it's like, I can't even listen to that song. It's really sad. But it's like her mom's battle with cancer. And then she has a song on her third album called Never Grow Up. And it's about like moving out on your own for the first time. Like, she doesn't just sing about her exes. And her songs just like, they tell stories that are just like, you can relate to them, but they're her life. But she even said like at the Eras tour, like these songs may be like about my life, but I hope that if you're listening, it's about yours too.
Yeah, I mean that's a thing in spirituality. There's a saying called one man's journey is every man's journey, and I mean you could say that for replace man, whatever. One Taylor song is every Taylor song, right? It's all of our lives. We've all been there. We've all had an ex. We've all dated, loved people and been hurt, or we've all had, bad things happen. So I could see that. That's interesting. We've got, what do we got in here? We got some people in the chat. Supporting the Swiftie slackers is crazy, says DNEC. Sam, the supportive Swiftie stud. How do you feel about Tay Tay?
That's my husband.
Oh, okay. How do you feel about Tay Tay being friends with Ice Spice?
I'm fine.
Are we cool with that?
Yeah.
I like Ice Spice. She's out
have
here.
you heard her remix of Karma?
No, I haven't.
So she did like a remix of the song Karma, and it was kind of controversial because a lot of people were like, this song didn't need a remix, and like her line, like her verses,
like it was disrespectful to Taylor that she even.
It wasn't like disrespectful. It's like her lines just like didn't flow, so it just kind of felt awkward.
Give me a line that felt awkward.
Okay, so, girl, dude, I don't even know.
Okay, you can say girl. We're Swifties right now. That's fine.
That's just my.
We got rank the albums. We're gonna get to that. A little bit later.
I have my ranking.
Okay, let's get into the presentation. I think this is what I want people to see here. So Mike's gonna pull up the presentation here, and he's gonna switch that into present mode. You're gonna switch us to tier list here. Actually, can you put us to? I think it's if you go down, it's like. Yeah, that one. Let's put us on the bottom. What do you think? The bottom's better? I think the bottom's better.
I think that looks better.
Okay, Taylor, you can present this to me, and you yell at Mike. You say, Mike, next slide.
Okay.
You can say that every time, or Mike, give me the next one. I want you to really.
All right. So the first thing I need to tell you is that the title of my presentation is Detox Taylor's version.
Wow. So, that is good. Well played.
But this is just going to be like a guide through the eras. If there's anybody that's new and like doesn't really know much about her, like I go through everything. So,
okay, I'm excited. I'm excited to learn today. Are you curious? So just so you know, I know very little about Taylor Swift aside from the things that most people like. I follow her loosely as much as the general public does. But I'm a lover of Taylor, not a hater. I have people very close to me that hate Taylor Swift a lot. And
me too.
You do too?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll get into that as we keep going. All right. Let's see.
So each era has a color. So debut is green, even though it used to be turquoise, but now there's 2 blue albums, so they switched debut to green. So
who's they?
Like
the Nation, the Swiftie Nation, the Army,
Taylor
the Colts?
Nation is like her press people.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Okay, so
this is green. So we're green.
Yes. So
Taylor Swift is the self-titled first album.
It is. This is where it all began in 2006. So she moves to Nashville when she's 11 to like perform in like small venues, bars, stuff like that. And she lands a record deal with Big Machine Records.
How'd she get that?
They just saw her in a bar and
wow. I got to start going to bars.
Signed her, and she gave like she would drop her demos off.
Yeah.
To like recording companies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and so they wanted her, and then she released her self-titled album in 2006, and actually my favorite song of all time is on that album.
What is that?
It's called Cold As You. And like
how does that one go?
It's like, now that I'm sitting here thinking it through. Have you heard that one?
No.
No?
No. I'm going to make you sing a bunch of them, though. And if I know any of them, I'll sing with you. I will not leave you hanging, so I will sing it with you if I know.
I am a singer, actually. So.
Okay. I'll believe it. What's the big popular one off that? What's the single off the first album?
Like Teardrops on My Guitar, Our Song.
I feel like Our Song. Yeah.
Should Have Said No, Picture to Burn.
Wow.
Those were like the 4 singles.
Wow, she had 4 singles on that. How many songs on that first album?
15.
Wow.
So then
That's back when she was performing in Twin Lakes.
Yep, and she was only 15 when her first album came out. So
wow. Yeah, that's insane.
And some of the songs on there she wrote when she was like 12.
Wait, so this is 2006, 2007. This is when the Bears were in the Super Bowl, baby. I was 6. That was like the best year of my life. Peaked right there. Okay, cool. So I was in 2nd grade when this is happening.
I was in 3rd grade.
Yeah, okay,
so.
very cool. Wow.
And her first gigs were performing with Tim McGraw and Rascal Flatts.
Rascal Flatts, baby.
Yeah. And then she also had 2 EPs that she released in 2007. One's called Beautiful Eyes, and it's like super rare now, and I have it. But like everyone wants that one because it's like
How
super
much could
rare.
you get for it?
Like $300-$400 right now.
Wow. It's a CD. You have the CD of it?
It's a CD, yeah.
Wow.
You could buy it at Walmart for $7 in 2007.
Yeah.
And then she has a Christmas EP as well, which only has 6 songs. You could also buy that for $7.
Is the Christmas EP, are those originals or are those covers or mix?
She has 2 originals and then like 3 covers on it.
That's pretty cool. Which songs does she do?
Silent Night, Last Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't know what the other one is.
Okay.
But yeah.
I believe it. I can hear her singing Silent Night. All right. What's next here?
All right. Yep.
Let's
Next
see.
slide.
Didn't load. Show anyway.
Uh-oh.
Reload. There we go.
So this was actually the first slide, but this is my journey of Taylor Swift.
What do you mean, bro?
I'm just kidding. I just wanted to. Okay, so this is you through the eras.
So, yeah, it is me through the eras. Like, I've literally grown up with Taylor Swift.
I mean, literally, yeah. We were just saying you were in 3rd grade when that first album was coming out.
So.
Yeah. Wow.
So the second picture was me before I went to see her in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, when tickets were like $35.
Damn. Who took you?
My mom and my mom's friend.
Did she know that she was converting you into a Swiftie, a lifelong Swiftie at the time, you think? Or was she just like,
well, I was already a Swiftie.
Wow, you just already
like,
knew.
I knew she was coming on tour, and I was like,
how were you aware? I didn't even know. The only thing that I knew was going on was the NFL.
Oh.
And I know I'm a man, whatever, but like I didn't even know. I was barely alive at school. Like I don't know what was happening.
Okay, so when I was 9, this is really bad. This is the bad thing I did when I was 9. I was not allowed to have like social media, obviously, because I'm a 9-year-old.
Yeah, and there wasn't much.
She posted a lot on like Twitter and MySpace, so like I wanted to be on the loop, so I made secret MySpace and Twitter accounts.
Wow.
And I would like know like when she was coming, like when she was releasing an album or like when she was coming on tour and stuff. And then I joined her fan club, and it's $5 a month, and I took a credit card that I found on a table, and I like, and it went on for 4 years. Nobody noticed.
Bro, that's literally like you. That's like these kids now with the V-Bucks. Everyone shits on these kids because they steal their parents' credit cards and they buy V-Bucks for Fortnite. That was you with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, and I forgot about that until yesterday, and I was like, I got to tell my mom this like today because I'm going to be talking about it right now.
Holy cow. You're like, I got to come clean.
Yeah, but they were like, you were 9. Like, it's whatever now. But
yeah, it's just fraud. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. You were 9.
So
what was, okay, before you skip ahead of that, what was like a name? What was one of the names of your secret accounts there?
Oh, it's really embarrassing. This was like my Webkins username too. Hillbilly Lily.
Hillbilly Lily. Okay, Hillbilly Lily. That's not bad. I thought it was going to be like some Taylor Swift thing.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Okay.
I really liked country music when I was little.
That makes sense how Taylor Swift was very country then.
Yeah.
At that point in time. Okay.
And I actually like wanted to play guitar because of her. I dyed my hair blonde because of her, but then like playing guitar just didn't stick. Like I went to lessons for like 3 years and I just like couldn't get the hang of it. And I got a guitar for my 12th birthday, and it didn't stick.
You still have the guitar?
No, I sold it.
Oh, okay.
But
for Taylor Swift tickets, maybe.
No.
Oh.
But I've always just like been really into music, but she was like one of the people that like really solidified my love for music. So
yeah. Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Let's keep it rolling here. I want to see what else is coming.
Yeah. So next slide.
Next slide,
Yeah.
Mike.
All right.
You gotta okay. From now on, when you want him to do the next slide, you gotta yell at him.
Okay. All right. I can. I have a teacher voice.
Okay, good. And he'll keep flipping us up and down, top and bottoms of the screen, so that's good.
So 2008, she releases her second album, Fearless, which was actually her first Grammy win, and she won Album of the Year in 2008 for Fearless.
Album of the year.
And it went platinum.
Wow.
So she released a platinum edition of the album.
Was there an extra song on that?
There was like 8 extra songs on it.
Damn, bro.
Yeah. And then she, oh yeah, okay.
Flip it up.
So
Flip it
she went to accept a VMA for the Love Story music video, which won
Video of the year, right?
Video of the Year. Yep.
Yep.
And then Kanye comes and wrecks her speech. And there's a lot of lore with Kanye that we're going to get into because it doesn't stop here.
Yeah.
And that is when the whole feud started.
Yeah, so for more context, I know a little bit about this situation. So Kanye was drunk at the VMAs, and that doesn't excuse anything that he did. I actually think that this was one of the many public fuck-ups of Kanye West's career, but it is still an iconic moment where he takes the mic from Taylor. He says, I forget, he says something like to the effect of like, it was great, your thing was great, whatever. But Beyonce had the greatest, one of the greatest music videos of all time, right? And then Beyonce's sitting there, and it's like so awkward, and Taylor Swift is like, what, dude? And she's at this time, this is her second album, right? So this is 2 years after the other one, or a year after the other one?
2 years.
Okay.
She usually releases
so she's
2
17,
years. Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
She's not even an adult, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's embarrassing.
And then Beyonce like went up later and was like, I love that I won, but I want Taylor to have her moment. And they've been friends. Like, they went to each other's like movie premieres and everything. So her and Beyonce are really good friends now. And then also in 2009, she started her Fearless tour, and that was like her first like solo tour. And I went to that, so that was pretty cool.
Wow. So you saw her on both of the tours so far.
Yes.
2 for 2.
I know people that have gone to every single one of her tours.
Wow. Do we hate them kind of? Because are we jealous?
I just, like, I didn't have money to go, so.
Yeah.
I was a child.
Maybe we should do like a subscription service for Taylor Swift tickets, so you could just like pay a little bit every month, and then it would just like automatically guarantee when she's in your city you get to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Taylor.
so.
Think about it, Taylor. All right.
Next slide.
There we go. Yeah. Give him a you could just yell Mike too. That's cool.
All right. So the next one, this is one of my favorite albums of hers. It is Speak Now. It came out in 2010, and it's like very just like fairy tale inspired.
Yeah.
She was 19 when this album came out, and
I see John Mayer's name up there.
yeah. So she was dating John Mayer, who was like 12 years older than her at the time. Something like that.
Not a good look.
He inspired a lot of the songs on this album. There's a song called Dear John. That's
kind of a diss record at that point.
Oh yeah, it's pretty.
I'm telling you, I think, when Drake was saying that Taylor Swift is the biggest boss in the rap game, I think he was right.
She annihilates these men. Like,
yeah?
She really does. We're gonna get.
Do you listen to any John Mayer? Do you like John Mayer, or do we hate John Mayer because of this?
Okay, I'm not gonna say I hate him, because I know someone who's watching that loves John
But if
Mayer,
you hate him, you hate him.
but also loves Taylor Swift. So like, there are Swifties that can do both.
Yeah.
I just don't really know any of his music to like say if I like him or not.
I mean, Your Body's a Wonderland.
I guess he did a song with Taylor Swift
later
when they were dating.
Oh wow, they were dating.
Yeah, no, she doesn't associate with him anymore. But yeah, he did a song with Taylor called Half of My Heart. Yeah, but so anyway, this is the album. Like, she was moving out of her childhood home at this time, so it inspired a lot of the songs. That inspired a lot of the songs too. And she had her Speak Now World Tour that was going on.
What was a big? I want to real quick. What is the biggest song off this album, you think, or what was like the big one I would know? Maybe.
Okay, like a single.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Mine. You are the best thing that's ever been mine.
I don't know it.
No?
Maybe.
Or Mean. Someday I'll be
Living in a big old
You know
city.
that one.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, yeah.
What was on the? We skipped the last album too. We did the first one, but we didn't do the second album. What was the big song on the
Love
second?
Story, You
Okay,
Belong With
I love that.
Me.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Yeah.
Classics.
Yeah.
Bops. I got those on the phone. I got those absolutely.
Are they Taylor's version?
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know.
So, and then also, like, her Speak Now World Tour was so just beautiful. Like, it was so visually, like, mystical. That's the one I wish I could have gone to, because it was, like, just a big fairy tale on the stage. It was so cool. She had, like, a DVD release of it, so then I watched it on DVD.
Oh, okay.
And she had a live album of it, too.
Yeah.
So,
Holy cow.
she was also releasing perfume at this time, and released a perfume called Wonderstruck, and it is, like, to this day one of my favorite perfumes. So
Wow.
yeah.
Do you still have the perfume?
I do. I brought it.
Really?
Yeah,
Can I smell it?
Yeah.
Can I smell some T Swift?
Sure.
I'm trying to smell some T Swift. Yeah, is this like this is where the OnlyFans girls got the idea to sell their bathwater. Taylor Swift. What is this made from? Is this made from her ex's tears or?
I don't know.
Wow, this is a nice bottle though.
I know. I love it.
It's
so pretty.
You can't even hate, bro. That's a beautiful bottle. I don't want to waste this fluid in here. Are you cool spraying a little?
Spray it.
You spray it. I don't want to do a big obnoxious spray
Okay.
and waste your stuff because this is like thick. This is heavy.
Yeah, and they don't sell it anymore. So.
Yeah, Taylor smells pretty good.
She has more perfumes, but I've never had
What do you
the
think,
other
Mike?
ones.
It smells good.
You smell
That
it?
smells good.
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
So that was like her her first perfume she released.
Yeah. All right. We're on to the next one now.
Yep,
Is that
next
we're on
slide.
the next? Mike. He's
Now,
abusing.
this is where the tea starts.
This is the
This
good
is
stuff,
like
bro.
the tea.
Put us on the bottom here. Put
All
us
right.
on the bottom.
So, yeah. All right. So, 2012.
Yeah.
I am a freshman in high school.
Yeah, I'm starting to
this
gain
point.
consciousness at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. She releases Red, and she's really good friends with Ed Sheeran. He's kind of an up-and-coming artist at this point, so he is her opening act on her Red tour. And he actually got a tattoo of Red
Yeah.
to, like, commemorate that experience.
I love Ed Sheeran, by the way.
Me too.
Huge Ed Sheeran fan.
I love Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, he's cool.
I haven't been to a concert from him yet. He had one
haven't
on
either.
my wedding day, so
Really?
I couldn't go.
Oh shit, that's yeah. But
Yeah.
I would love to see him live. He's crazy live, dude. He goes out there just himself and fucking loop pedal, and that's it.
I know.
Builds
like,
all the songs.
He's insane.
Their song that they had together, I remember that came out in like
Yep.
what, like 2015.
That's what, it was on this album.
Was it
actually.
on this album?
Yep. It's called Everything Has Changed.
I thought that
and
was on 20. I thought that was later.
They have one on Reputation as well, which was
Oh.
2015 or
Maybe I'm thinking of
2017.
both. I do love Everything Has Changed though. It's a good song.
Yeah, so she's really good friends with Ed Sheeran, and she is dating Jake Gyllenhaal, or getting over a breakup with Jake Gyllenhaal. This is where it starts, okay?
Mm-hmm.
She has a song called All Too Well.
Yeah. I've heard about this.
She annihilates him in this song. So in 2021, she re-records Red.
10-minute version, right?
10-minute version, okay?
Yeah.
Annihilates him. Like,
What do you think was the most scathing thing that she said on All Too Well?
okay.
Either version.
She said, like, I was never good at telling jokes, but the punchline goes, I'll get older, but your lovers stay my age. Because he always dated, like, women that were super younger than him.
Yeah.
And then, like, yeah, she totally just, like,
She just went for it. Went
just
all the way in on
went
him.
for it. Because, like, we knew there was a 10, like, the Swifties, we knew there was a 10-minute version that existed. And
How did you know?
She talked about it in an interview, but she never released it. And then we wanted it so bad. Like, we'd always tweet her about it, stuff like that. And so she released it on her re-recording.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. That's very cool.
And then she was doing a lot of brand endorsements at this time. Diet Coke, Keds. What else is listed there?
Did you drink Diet Coke as a
I don't
freshman in high
like
school?
Diet
Because
Coke,
I was gonna
no.
say that's poison. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She was on Hallmark.
American Greeting Cards. She had a, like, collab with them. Like, the
Wow.
Paprius,
She was getting that
like,
bag.
stationery.
She was in her Shaquille O'Neal era.
Yeah, and then, like, Ked shoes.
Ked. I know that brand.
Yeah, they're, like, lightweight sneakers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she went on her Red tour, and was pretty great. And you could also buy her merch at Walgreens for this album.
Oh, that's cool. That's accessible. Accessible queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, respect.
I had a lot because of that.
Oh yeah, you was going every day. Every time some kid was restocking it at Walgreens, you were like, "Give me that shit. Check the back. I want some more." I respect that. I respect that.
All right, next slide. This is my favorite background. Okay, so this is 2014, 1989 era. So this is her 5th album called 1989.
Yeah.
That is the year she was born, so that's why it's called 1989.
Oh, okay.
And she was like she moved to New York, and that like literally inspired this entire album. She's dating Harry Styles, wrote a bunch of songs about Harry Styles, and like their love, and then they broke up like halfway through her recording process of this album.
That probably made the last half easier to record.
And then she had a lot of like, she was making friends with like all these famous people. Like it was her it girl year.
Yeah.
Like she was on top of the world. But she was also struggling with an eating disorder at this time.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. And so it was like really bad. Like she had a lot of health issues at this time too, because she wanted to be skinny like her model friends. And she did like the Victoria's Secret fashion shows and stuff. And like, yeah. And then.
She's pretty skinny.
Yeah.
What was she?
Well, that's that era. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
And then she started a thing called Taylorking.
Taylorking?
It's called Taylorking. And it would be on like Twitter, Tumblr. I don't think Instagram was a thing yet. Maybe it was. But she, like, if you had a fan page dedicated to Taylor Swift, she would invite you to secret sessions. She'd send you Christmas presents.
Whoa.
That's like my dream. I just want to meet her so bad.
Dude, I mean, we're doing a whole podcast right now. All love right now.
Yeah.
So maybe she'll be like, yo, we're going to fly out the detox.
That's been like an 18-year dream of mine, just to like meet her. So a secret session, it actually started in 1989. She'd like invite people to her house to listen to this album before it came out.
Wow.
And yeah, and then they would get like exclusive merch from the secret sessions and stuff.
That's pretty exciting, dude. I mean, like that probably made some people's lives. Like that's
know it would make mine.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy. That's interesting you say that. So when I was coming out with my second project, I made a list of all the people that said something nice to me about my first project when they did that. And I texted everybody like a couple weeks beforehand that were on that list. And I was like, hey, just want to let you know because you were super nice to me about this other album. Appreciate the support. Want to let you know I got a new one coming out. If you want, I'd love to play you a couple of songs off it, whatever. And one guy told me, what makes you think I liked the last album? And I was like,
oh.
well, you said nice things about it, and he said he didn't mean them, so that was good. But we can keep going with Taylor Swift.
All right. So yeah, that was 1989. It was like her it girl era, and it was also her first album that was completely pop.
Who broke up with who? Is what I'm being asked in the comments. We have a lot of comments we're going to get to, too, in a minute. There's a lot of people saying some cool stuff in the chat.
They mutually broke up because they were both super famous because, like, Harry was in One Direction. They were, like, the hottest band. Yeah. She was an it girl. Like, I think they just didn't have time for each other, and they, like, mutually broke up.
You think the labels wanted them to be separate?
Maybe.
I don't know. They probably brought them together, too. Yeah, it was probably, wow.
But this was a very transitional album because she did her genre switch, like went from country to full pop.
Yeah.
So
that's big.
Yeah.
People had strong opinions on that at the time, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've always supported her,
yeah.
But it definitely like took some getting used to because it was like a new sound and everything.
Yeah, much more modern production as opposed to like she was I feel like she was always had a lot of pop elements, and even like a lot of country does have pop elements to it. But this was the one where she was like, I'm a pop star.
Yeah.
I'm her. I respect it.
Yeah. All right, next slide. All right, this more tea.
Put us in the bottom here.
More tea. All right, so end of 1989 era. She just got off her like 1989 world tour. She's super skinny. People are like noticing that. They're like making fun of her on the internet, stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah. Then Kanye West enters the chat. And
that dude.
Yeah. Him and Kim Kardashian like sabotage her because they like call her. They're like, hey, I want to write this song. Like, can I use your name in it?
Mm-hmm.
She thought it was going to be like innocent. Like, he's just going to rap about her.
Yeah, I watched this conversation. And didn't they technically illegally record this conversation?
Yes.
They didn't tell her that they were recording them asking her.
Yes. And she's like, okay, like you can, but she never consented it to be like used in a bad way. And he like says like, oh, I made that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I believe he specifically, he says I made her famous. Like when he says it to her, he goes, oh, I made her famous. And like kind of laughs, and he like references their whole moment. She laughs too. She's like, oh yeah, we're past that. But then the song came out.
But it was the music video.
And
that was the issue.
That was the music video was the issue?
Because he has like a wax figure of her
Yeah.
in a bed, like naked, and it's
Yeah.
like overly sexualizing her, and like it's just gross, you know?
It is. I don't think necessarily that specifically is. I think it is weird and gross in this context that what he's referring to is that he's saying he made her famous, right? Because at that point in time, he had just dropped Graduation, which was his a lot of people think is his magnum opus, like his best album. And so he was huge when he had that whole outburst with her, and she was 17. So I think that's a little weird to be doing like a wax.
She was 21 at this time.
Well, at this time, I know,
Yeah.
but like that's what he's referencing though
Yeah.
in this video, right? Is like this
The
whole situation.
fearless one.
Yeah, and so, and for people that don't know, he did not say I made her famous. He said I made that bitch famous.
Yeah.
God damn, that's a good song.
Which is
actually,
also
though.
like kind of negative as well.
Yeah, no, definitely negative connotation. What do you think? I had some people messaging me when I said I was having the biggest Swiftie on. That some people are under that assumption. They feel that Kanye West did propel her stardom.
No.
You
I
disagree?
think she did it all herself. She writes all of her songs. Like,
Do you think maybe that moment at all pushed her popularity at all in that moment, that VMA's controversy?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know. But I just think like she's just been like, she's a very positive person. She is like one of the only people that like loves her fans so much that like she invites them to her house to like listen to things. And like, I don't know. I think she's just like a whole different level of like fame that's like, she's humble about it.
Yeah.
Where like some people aren't.
Yeah.
But so then anyway, the whole internet blows up, starts calling her like a snake and like all these really negative names, and she goes on a hiatus, deletes all her accounts. Nobody hears from her for 2 years. Wow. She just like disappears.
What were you doing during that time? Were you guys like, you know how like in some cultures like way back when we thought, you know, that like let's say Greek mythology or something like that, right? They thought that like different gods control different elements of like rain and other things like that. Were you guys like out there trying to like do some dances or some sacrifices to bring her back? Were you like, when is our god coming back to us? When will she be here? What were you doing during these 2 years?
It was just like hoping she would come back. I was a senior in high school at that point.
Yeah.
And 2015 I was a senior in high school, but like I was in high school, I was like doing musicals. I love musical theater too. That's like another whole like thing I could could go down. But I think I was just kind of distracting myself with other music and like listening to her old stuff to kind of just like hold that fan.
Yeah, keep it alive.
Yeah,
keep the flame burning.
Keep the flame burning, because I didn't think she was gone forever. So,
yeah. And then what happened?
Yeah, and then I even said 2 years until, boom, 2017, Reputation. This is her most iconic era.
Most iconic.
Literally her most iconic era. You ask any Swiftie, they will say this.
This is the "Look What You Made Me Do" era.
It is her comeback era. Like she comes back on social media posting all this snake imagery, and we're like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? And then she said like coming, I think it was December, and then it was a new album, and it was Reputation, and the whole theme was like, oh, the old Taylor's dead.
Yeah.
Like, you've probably heard that song where she says that.
Maybe.
Like, sorry, the old Taylor can't come to the phone right now. It's in Look What You Made Me Do.
Oh, it is in that. Yeah. I know that song.
So this was like her comeback era, and like she came back just like powerful, strong, and she used the fact that people called her a snake in a positive way.
I didn't understand the snake. How was she a snake in that situation?
People just like they thought she was like telling lies about the whole Kanye situation.
But it sounds, I mean, and me as someone who at that time was pretty into Kanye West, even thought like, especially when the video came out, it's like, well, why are you videoing this phone call if you don't, like, it told the phone call themselves, like their video of it told on themselves, where it was like, because he did say one thing and then it ended up being another.
Well, you were the good kind of Kanye West fan then if you thought like that was wrong, because
I mean, I don't know, like I did think, I don't know, I think it's silly. I know a lot of people hated him for that. I think the song is fine. I don't have any issue with the song. I think the song is fine, and I think if he wants to feel like I made that bitch famous, whatever, I think that's cool, whatever, do the song. But I do feel bad for her that they kind of lied on the phone call.
this was like a big like F.U. Kanye album. A lot of the songs are about him, but then she also started a 6-year relationship with Joe Alwyn during this time. So that also heavily inspired a lot of the love songs.
Who the hell is Joe Owen?
He is an actor, but they recently broke up. So I'll get into that later. But yeah, nobody knows who he is. And everyone knows who Taylor Swift is. So
what do we think? What do we think before we move on? Look What You Made Me Do. All right. Is that better than Katy Perry's response, which was Swish Swish? Or which was first?
Look What You Made Me Do is not about Katy Perry.
Wasn't she dissing Katy Perry?
About Katy
Bad
Perry.
Blood. That's what it was.
But they're friends now. Like she went to her.
Who do you think won that though?
Taylor.
You think so?
Yeah.
I thought Swish Swish is better than Bad Blood. To be honest
I don't
with
know.
you.
Bad Blood like live hits so different.
I mean, I believe it.
I'm not like a big fan of like the singles on 1989 because they were like so overplayed.
Yeah.
But live, it's so different. Like I don't like Shake It Off, really.
Yeah.
That's like her worst song in my opinion. But live, it just hit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But so yeah, she started dating Joe Alwyn and she's like in a happy like 6-year relationship, and she went on her Reputation Stadium tour, which was on Netflix, but they recently took it off. But it was really iconic. She had a giant snake on the stage. You can see it in that photo. Like the snake's name was Karen. It was a whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So then, and then did she ever, I mean, I'm sure maybe we'll get to it, but I know there's some more stuff with the West Kardashian family, right?
Oh,
That comes up
yep.
later. Yeah.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that's like the biggest thing. Like they kind of ruined her reputation. So then she came back with Reputation.
Okay. Yeah.
That's her most iconic era though. And I actually like wasn't a rep girly for a long time.
Yeah.
And now it's my #1 album. So
Oh, all right. Okay.
yeah. All right, next slide. Big shift in color.
Wow. All right.
As you can see. So 2019, first, war with Scooter Braun. He was in charge of Scott Bruschetta was in charge of Big Machine Records, and he decided to sell her entire catalog of music to Scooter Braun.
Yeah.
Like all of her masters.
Yeah, she didn't own any of her masters at the time.
Yeah.
Right, 'cause she was so young when she signed that deal.
So she can't, like, they're not hers anymore.
Yeah.
And so it started this huge thing. And then she's winning this award for Artist of the Decade at the American Music Awards. And she wants to do like a medley of all of her songs so far, like all of her big hits so far. And they said, well, you can't do that because you don't own the rights to those songs. So they went to court about it and she won. So she got to do a performance, but they said that's the only thing you can do.
So then she re-recorded all that shit.
She had to wait to re-record, but we'll get to that too because I have a whole slide about that.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. That's one thing I do love about Taylor Swift is that a lot of people, so I'm an independent artist, right? And I own my own media company, so I release everything myself, own all the masters, everything. It was cool to see. I mean, I hate that she had to have this thing happen to her, but if there is a positive, it's that so many more maybe casual listeners of music and casual music enjoyers and lovers were sort of becoming aware or more aware of the business side and some of the negative practices people do when it comes to musicians and their masters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of our favorite artists, musicians, some of the biggest in the world, are not making nearly as much as we think they are on their music because that's someone else owns it that's never made music in their life.
Yeah, and a
It's
lot
sad.
of artists that are under Scooter Braun are like leaving him and going to different labels
Yeah.
because of that. Like it's
what I've
just
heard, yeah.
not fair.
It's interesting. It's just
Yeah.
wild. It's just wild to me.
Yeah.
Um,
So now she's under Universal Music Group,
another shark of the music industry. Wouldn't say they're great people, but we'll see.
but she's more like independent.
She probably owns
She
more of her, yeah.
owns her
Her masters.
her stuff. So her first owned album was Lover, and it's like it's a sister album to Reputation, but it's like the light side and Rep's like the dark side. So she sings a lot about Joel Alwyn and her love, and then that's the album that has the song about her mom's battle with cancer. So she, and it was like this huge album because like everybody was like waiting for her to like come back again because she didn't have a record label anymore. So then they were like patiently waiting for her to like have a new album out, and so Lover was like that album. And then she had Loverfest. So her mom had cancer, so she couldn't travel very far. She couldn't do like a huge tour. So she was gonna do Loverfest, where she went to like a big stadium, MetLife in New York, and then SoFi in California, and she was gonna do like 2-week long like residencies
yeah.
basically. So she had this planned out. People had like pre-sale, like it was
So then people could plan trips, and it was easier for her for travel.
It was a
yeah.
huge deal, and like so that was in the end of 2019. So what do you think happened?
The pandemic, yeah.
Yeah, it got canceled because of COVID. So she never got to tour Lover.
Wow.
All right, next slide.
People are upset about that, I imagine.
So then 2020 hits. Like I said, Loverfest got canceled, but the mother of the music industry was keeping us fed because she comes out with, in July, Folklore. Surprise drops this album at midnight. Does not tell anyone. Like,
Yeah.
doesn't post anything about it. Just bam. I just put out a new album. Go listen to it.
Holy cow. And
Folklore.
you did.
And it was also a genre switch. She's like, it's like pop, but like folky pop. And honestly, like, I love these albums. So she
Yeah.
has Folklore, and then in December, does it again. Surprise drops Evermore.
Yeah.
So she now has 2 folky pop albums, and there is a theory that there is a third sister to these albums called Woodvale, because she wrote so much material for these 2 albums because it was quarantine, and she wrote like so much, but it's not released yet.
Wow.
There's also a theory that there's another part of Reputation called Karma that hasn't been released.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a
How
lot
do we
of
know this? How do we know these things?
there's Easter eggs that back it up, like hardcore. Like she references Karma in so much of her music.
Wow.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm curious there's one thing we're missing here that I'm a little upset that we didn't touch on.
Okay.
Where is that one song from the Hunger Games fit into all this,
Oh,
bro?
Red Era. That was
That's
during
Red?
Safe and Sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That song's a slapper, bro.
I did that for my
Certified bop.
freshman year talent show. I sang that song.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah, that one's good, dude.
Yeah.
That one's really good. We can
Um,
continue now. I just needed to get that off.
No, but also Folklore and Evermore were both nominated for Grammys, and Folklore won Album of the Year. So it is her 3rd Album of the Year. She had Fearless, 1989, and Folklore.
Wow. That's insane.
Yep. So
3.
I'm just seeing if I. Oh, and then she also did like a live album of Folklore and like a live recording session that she recorded called the Long Pond Studio Sessions. Long Pond Studio is like a really famous studio.
Mm-hmm.
And she released the record for Record Store Day.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Nice. Wow, so
And-
she's fucking raking in sales, bro.
And the filmed version's on Disney Plus, so you can like watch it on Disney Plus. And
Oh.
it's more of a documentary because she like goes through her songwriting process too.
I'm about to check that out. I love documentaries. Okay, so then we're on to the next slide here.
Yep. Next.
Load it.
All right.
Let
So
me see
her
the pic.
first 2 re-recordings came out in 2021. We all knew, like, she had an interview. I forgot what she was on, but she did an interview and she said, like, absolutely, I'm going to re-record. Kelly Clarkson like backed her up on it. She's like, you should re-record.
Yeah, I think didn't it all start from like a Kelly Clarkson tweet or something like
Yeah.
that, and that was kind of got the wheels turning.
Because Taylor posted about like how
messed up it was.
how
right?
messed up Big Machine Records was, and then Kelly Clarkson was like, well, why don't you just re-record your old albums? But she had to wait like 2 years.
Yeah, after that like legislation and everything. Yeah.
So her first re-record was Fearless, Taylor's version. And it was so iconic because it's like so nostalgic because it's from like 2008. So it's like all the songs we grew up on and like everyone's so excited. And she includes vault tracks on all of her re-records, which are like unreleased songs that she wrote during those eras.
Yeah.
And they're like always just like really good.
Yeah. Dude, even the shit she thought wasn't good enough to make the album is too good. She got hits on hits
Yeah,
on hits.
exactly. And then she also released Red, Taylor's version, and it is her longest re-record. She has 30 songs on this one.
Jesus Christ.
And this is the one with All Too Well 10-minute version,
10-minute version, yeah.
which was nominated because she made a short film of All Too Well, and it was nominated for Video of the Year at the VMAs.
Yeah.
And she won.
And she did win. And no Kanye speech that time.
No.
No. Not
It was her second time winning Video of the Year, too.
Okay.
Since that whole
Since that debacle,
thing.
yeah.
But also, the VMAs was like 13 years after that had happened.
Wow.
So we thought she was doing something, and we were correct because, next slide, she announces Midnights, her 10th studio album during the VMAs. And she comes like dressed in like a Reputation coded album. So we're all like, Rep TV's coming. And we were clowning because it was Midnights.
Yeah,
But
she got you.
yeah, but we're like jaw on the floor. Like I had no idea. But we like all knew something was happening because it was a 13th anniversary of the Kanye thing at the VMAs.
Wow.
So, yeah, she announces it after she won the short film.
Broke a bunch of records, I
Yep.
see. That's good.
It broke many records. It was like the most streamed on Spotify and Apple Music. And that's when she became the most streamed artist on all streaming platforms. She was Artist of the Year on both Spotify and Apple Music last year.
Crazy.
And then at 3 a.m. on release day, she released like 8 3 a.m. tracks. So it was like additional songs for the Midnights album.
She writes a lot, man.
And then she also released some vault tracks and remixes that she had on a CD that was exclusive to the Eras Tour. So you could buy the CD at the Eras Tour, and there's a track called You're Losing Me, and it is like, it's so sad, but it's so good. That song has like such a chokehold on me.
Really?
And like, it's so telling of her relationship with Joe Alwyn and like how it really ended.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, this was her 4th album to win Album of the Year at the Grammys.
Respect.
All right, next slide. Then we get to 2023.
I was gonna say we gotta be getting close to present day here, right? Yeah.
Yep. So,
The eras.
yeah, so late in 2022, I think it was like a month after Midnights came out, she announced the Eras Tour. And the internet went wild. Like, so crazy. So then you had to like I was kind of saying earlier, you had to register for the chance to get a pre-sale code. Like, it was not guaranteed. Like I said, I was waitlisted. My hubby got a code.
Yeah.
And then do the pre-sale. And like Reputation Stadium Tour, you had to buy the CDs to get line boosts. And I wish they would have done that with this tour because it was a mess. And like they said, if you bought the album off her website, you'd get a line boost, and we did, but like
line boost meaning you get scooted up in line.
Yeah, for like the queue.
Yeah.
But that is not true. I had 52,000 people ahead of me in the queue all day. And it crashed
Wow.
multiple times.
You know, I just did a show, and it was a lot of money to put on, and a lot of people came, and so it was, you know, it's cool. I'm thinking we're working with some big numbers for everything that it's sickening to think of these numbers, man. People paying to get moved up in line to still maybe not get it, bro. That's insane. Okay, let's move on.
But it was really iconic because she hadn't toured since 2017.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the demand is there.
She had 4 albums that have never had a tour.
So
and
people were
also
ready.
vault tracks that have never been performed.
Yeah.
So she had so much material that had like never really seen the light of day. And so that's why this was so iconic. And plus she was performing every single era except debut. That's only surprise songs. But she has every single night she'd perform 2 songs that she'd never perform again. Like you had to be at that show to get those surprise songs. Wow. Now she's international and she's doing medleys, and I'm jealous because I didn't get a medley, but it's okay.
Medley, for people that don't know, would be it's like a mashup.
Yeah, like a mashup.
Yeah.
So she's like doing these awesome like mashups like overseas now, and I'm just really jealous.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then people were like, you planned an outfit for like a certain era. Like I did rep era, but then I accessorized with other eras, and then you made friendship bracelets. It was like a whole
so
thing.
You could like trade eras and all combine.
Yeah,
Wow.
and that was so fun. Like I made so many friends at the Eras tour that I still talk to today just because of friendship bracelets.
Jesus, man, that's for real.
It was really like we had like you do tailgating where you like you park your car and you like trade friendship bracelets in the parking lot. Some people were grilling out in the parking lot of Soldier Field.
Wow, dude.
Yeah,
that's badass.
And she has sold out every single show on this tour, like 60,000 plus people every single night. Some of them she does like 6 shows per city. It's crazy. And she has to train like an athlete to do that for 3.5 hours each day. Like,
yeah, she doesn't have any openers, right? Or does she?
She has 2 openers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I had Gracie Abrams and Muna as my openers.
Switches based on where she's at.
But Gracie Abrams was so good. I love her.
Very cool. Alrighty, let's keep it rolling.
That's all I wanted to say about the Eras tour because I think I said most of what I had on there earlier. All right, next. More re-recordings. So during the Eras tour, she announced 2, and her American leg of the Eras tour, she announced 2 of her re-recordings. In Nashville, in May, she announced Speak Now, and we like all knew it was happening. There was like so much purple happening and like just all these clues with like fairy tale references and stuff, and it was just obvious that that was the next re-recording.
Yeah.
So she announced that, and then in LA at her very last American tour show for this leg, because now she's coming back next year, but she announced 1989 on 8/9, August 9th, and we all knew that one was coming too because it was just obvious, and all her outfits that night were blue to like match the album, so we like all knew it was coming. Yeah.
Wow. Taylor's version out here.
Yeah, she has like over 67 shows on the tour. It's her no, that's more than that. Like 131 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's her biggest tour ever.
Yeah, just boosting the economy of each of these cities here.
All right, next slide.
Let's keep it going.
All right, and then
this is today.
This
is 2 weeks ago. Or a week ago?
Like 5 days ago.
Wow, 5 days ago.
So February, she wins Grammy for Album of the Year for Midnights, her 4th one. Yep. Yeah. And everyone was so certain Rep TV was going to be announced that night because it was black and white. She had snake imagery coming up on Instagram. She was referencing Reputation. I think she was just doing it for the clowns, honestly. Yeah. But she changed everything on her profile to like black and white. So we were like, oh my God, like Rep's coming. And then she's wearing like black and white.
Yeah.
But then she goes, my brand new album
crazy
comes out April 19th. And like we're just stunned because we had no idea. But now she's kind of doing a pattern because she did new album, 2 re-records, new album, 2 re-records, new album.
A lot of people were pretty mad, I saw, that she announced the new album at the
I
Grammys.
was not mad. I mean, like, people who just want Rep TV, like, get over it. Like, we're going to get it eventually. Yeah. But, like, enjoy her new album. Like, people were like, maybe she'll do that and Rep TV at the same time.
That would be dumb.
But, like, then they're competing for
sales
and Grammys. And, like, so I don't think she would do that. So then she releases Tortured Poets Department. And then at 2 a.m. on that day releases the second half called The Anthology. And this one is like heavily based on like her breakup. Oh yeah, during the Eras tour, she broke up with Joe Alwyn and had a fling with Matty Healy. He's gross. I'm really glad it was just a fling.
Yeah, I
and
remember hearing about
starts
that, yeah.
dating Travis Kelce, who I just love their relationship. It's
Wow.
so cute.
You believe it? Yeah.
But so this album's like heavily about like Joe Alwyn and like what she experienced with him, Matty Healy. It's like the tea is being spilled in this album. And then she has like 2 cute songs about Travis too. But yeah, it's a lot. And it's just really like it's incredible. Like the lyricism, every song's like 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
And
Holy shit.
so good.
Yeah, the TikTokers are not gonna love that one though. 5-minute songs, man. No way. But I respect
Well, so UMG like took all their music off
TikTok.
TikTok, and then on my birthday, which was like the 12th of April,
They put it back.
Taylor put all her music back on TikTok. So
Wow.
felt like I got a birthday present because all my videos weren't muted anymore.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
Let's see what's next. Is there?
my TikTok's my same as my Instagram name.
Okay.
So
And
all
her
right.
Instagram's linked down below, guys. The
This
world's
is
biggest Swiftie.
the last slide. So it's just like her other projects, documentaries, EPs, movies.
She was not in Cats.
She was McCavity in Cats.
She deserves that. A couple points docked.
Yeah,
A couple
deserves
points.
Okay,
docked.
honestly, she did it because she's literally like the world's biggest cat lady.
Yeah.
She's such like
I love
cat
Cats
lady.
too, but if someone would have pitched me that movie, I would have said no.
She's the best part of that movie. Otherwise, it was terrible.
Yeah, okay.
But she's in Valentine's Day. She was in Cats. She did her Eras tour movie, which like broke records at the box office
heard
and
about
movie
that, yeah.
theaters. And
Crazy.
she was in like The Giver. She was in The Lorax. She was in New Girl, Hannah Montana, the movie.
This is her like second Shaquille O'Neal era. Just getting that bag, bro. I respect that. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. I'm curious. First off, can we give a big round of Mike? Can you make some noise? Give a round of applause here. That's an insane presentation.
Thanks.
I just want you to know. I respect the hell out of that you did that. That is. You broke it down for. I feel like I know much more about Taylor Swift now. I feel like everybody does that listen to this podcast.
I would save that for anyone that you want.
Seriously, you should almost put this in your Instagram as like a stories highlight so people can know, so they can just understand it, so it's there for as like public knowledge. Before we have some other stuff I want to get to.
Oh, she wanted to tell you.
Tell me.
She has a documentary called Miss Americana on Netflix, and it like goes through her songwriting process of Lover, and like she really was sad because like Rep didn't even get Grammy noms, and like so then it inspired her to like make Lover better.
Do you think she cares too much about the Grammys? Do you think the Grammys are rigged? A lot of people think they're rigged.
I don't know, because she didn't think she was going to win a Grammy this year. She was like, if I won anything, like the first Grammy I won this year, I was going to announce TTPD. But she didn't think she was going to win. She's like, otherwise she would have announced it in Japan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I'm curious. So you said you like Kelsey. You like her and Travis Kelce.
I do.
What do you think they should name their kid if they have one? What's your theory?
And
then we
gotta
get to some chat
she
stuff.
She kind of seems like hippie vibe. So like a hippie name. Like she has a song called Willow, and I could totally see her having like a kid named Willow or Ivy. Like she has,
Ivy.
Those are both song titles on Evermore.
Yeah.
So
okay, I'm you know more than I would, so I'm not gonna say I can't disagree. I'm curious. We have a bunch of people in the chat. Some
Okay.
Taylor Swift fans, some it looks like maybe not. We're gonna briefly get caught up on what they have to say before I get to my last little bit here with you that I want to talk about.
I have to show you some merch.
You have to show me some merch stuff too. Okay, so let's see. McKenna says, I love this. We got Ariana says, bring back the OG lyrics on Picture to Burn.
Yes.
Okay, that's a yes. All right. I don't know what that means. I'm going to believe you, though. So Harry Styles and her. Oh, yeah, people are talking about Harry Styles. Let's see. Has T Swift ever gotten work done to her face?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
I've seen conspiracies about that.
I don't think she has.
I don't know. I wouldn't have any idea, but I've heard that online.
Yeah, I don't.
We're gonna say no. You're more of an expert than I am, so I'm gonna agree with what you say.
I don't really think she has.
Yeah.
I feel like there would
And
have
if
been
she
something
has,
about
does
it.
it matter?
No.
do what you
really
want to
care.
do, right? Yeah, do what you want to do.
She still looks good. Some people get plastic surgery and they don't look good.
That's true.
But-
That is true. Let's see here. Rita versus T Swift in a rap battle. Who's winning?
Versus Taylor Swift. I think you'd win. But
Do you think I could win that?
yeah.
Holy
But you against Ed
shit.
Sheeran, I'd go with Ed Sheeran.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
I love Ed Sheeran. He's one of my favorite artists ever. So, I mean, hopefully me and him don't get in a rap beef. Yeah, we could see. What is Whiskey Man here said? Whiskey Man's the one that suggested that. He says, I can see Darren pulling some 8 Mile type shit on Taylor, like SWAT team, kick her doors down, and flashbang type of ruin her day type of bars. Yeah, man. I would. I
Well,
would.
you and
But I
your-
wouldn't ever have to do that because I think me and T Swift, I think we would be cool.
Yeah.
I think we would be homies.
Your friend might win a rap battle too. The one that was at your show.
Which one?
Be dizzy.
P. Dizzy?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's tall. Yeah, he's tall. How tall is Taylor Swift, by the way? Do you
She
know?
is 5'11".
You know that. off
And
the top.
Travis Kelce's the only man she's dated that's been taller than her. Fun fact.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd have to wear. I mean, I'm 5'10", so I'd have to wear some shoes with a little bit of boost,
Yeah.
just to, So that's. But maybe we can be friends. I don't
But
know.
then she wears like stilettos and like the highest shoes.
Jesus Christ!
She
So
looks
she's
like-
an NBA player.
She
at that
looks
point,
like
bro.
Superwoman on stage because she's like so tall with her
And
heels.
she's on a huge stage.
yeah.
Is it possible? These are comments, right? So, is it possible Taylor Swift gay, or am I thinking of someone else? It says, is there a theory that Taylor Swift may be gay?
Okay, so there's a group of Swifties called the Gaylors, and they
Mm.
think she is, but I'm not one of them
No.
because
so you think no?
like she's dated
Only
so many
men.
men.
Yeah. Only men.
Yeah.
We got another one here. Says Taylor Swift's next man will be
She's
Pete
marrying
Davidson.
Travis Kelce.
Pete Davidson.
Ew, absolutely not.
You don't think so?
Gross.
She did Maddie Healy. I don't know.
Did you see the "I'm Just Pete"
Yeah.
parody?
That was pretty good.
That shit's funny.
That shit was good. Okay, let's see what else we've got here. Maddie Healy eats raw meat on stage. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah. All right.
Maddie
so
Healy's just a problem.
okay, we've talked a lot. I want to do. We've got 3 things we want to get to still. I want to get, and we are getting close on this time crunch. So I want us to
Okay.
get it. I want us to make sure we get to it. I want you to show me. You brought some interesting stuff today.
Yeah.
Let's do that, and then I have a game I want us to play. We'll do the game last, but then we got to get to some serious Taylor stuff too, because people have a lot of criticisms with Taylor Swift. So I
Yeah.
got to propose some of those.
Mhm.
So let's do the fun. Let's do merge first, critical, then we'll get to the last fun thing here.
All right. So this is a doll.
What
Coco.
the fuck is going on, bro?
Coco made me this doll. Like literally like did the bangs. She like did the makeup
This
on
is
the
Coco's
doll.
fault right here.
Yeah, she made it.
Wow.
Well, I showed her a video. Like I showed her a picture of one. Like I sent her a picture. She's like, "I'm gonna make one for you." So then she did.
Wow. It looks just like Taylor
She
Swift.
even did like the Louboutins
Wow.
with the red bottoms,
That's legendary right there.
and she painted her nails.
Yeah. That's dedication.
Yeah.
That's dedication. Attention to detail.
Did
Taylor
you-
Swift, if you're seeing this,
That's crazy.
yeah, that deserves a private session, T Swift.
Dude,
Come on.
Coco makes some insane dolls. Like,
Yeah, Coco is one of the most creative people I've ever met. So that's insane. Shout out to Coco for that. What else do you have back there? So you're wearing some merch. You've got some other
I am,
goodies.
but okay, so every era lately, she like releases a cardigan, and then they're like sell out in like 10 minutes. I actually got the TTPD one today, but this is like the 1989 TV one. So it has seagulls on the back.
How much does that cardigan go for?
They're $70.
How much does it go for
Like,
resale now?
like three times that sometimes.
Holy shit.
Like the original cardigan from the folklore era, people pay like $600 just to get one. And then this is the Speak Now one. This one's like really soft.
That one looks cool. I like that. I like that purple.
Yeah.
Stars
It's
too.
got,
Look
like,
at that.
stars, and then like they all have patches with like the album names on them.
I don't think I've ever seen her in a cardigan though.
In the Cardigan music video, she has a song called Cardigan on
Okay.
folklore.
I believe you.
That's like kind of what started the whole cardigan thing.
All right.
So
I believe it.
then I have
Anything for sales, bro.
I gotta. Yeah.
his signed folklore.
Wow, she signed that. Holy shit. Man.
I have 4 pieces of signed merch. So
I wonder, because you said Taylor Swift, she loves her fans, right? And I
Yeah.
believe that she does. There's no way. I mean, I'm not saying she's going to see this video, but if she ever saw any clips from this podcast, if she saw the dedication and love that you have for this woman, I hope that she would let you come to a private session, man. I want that for you. After talking with you, I want that for you. Really, I do. That's incredible.
I jump on her website like seconds after they tweet there's a merch drop just to like buy stuff.
Yeah.
You got to be super quick sometimes.
I'm sure you have to be insanely quick for her stuff.
There's a vinyl that I'm like always. I didn't have a record player till this year, but there was a vinyl she released last Valentine's Day, and I didn't get one, and now I want one so bad, and it's $800 resale because it is heart shaped.
Wow. Okay, that's.
But that
she
is
makes
my
a lot of money.
dream Taylor Swift merch item.
Wow.
Okay, I have this bag. It just I usually
It's a nice
use it
bag.
to carry or
To carry Taylor
books in.
Swift's. Oh, okay.
Yeah. We'll do that one last. Okay, this is like when you used to buy like her merch or like her albums, you would get like postcards. Oh, I don't know where they are. But I had ones that like it says like thank you for buying my album, support. It's like
Yeah.
a note from
Like
her.
little thank you. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
cool.
But these are like all postcards that I have from like all of her things.
Holy
I
shit.
collect
Yeah.
her postcards. And then this was my first piece of Taylor Swift merch. I got them at the Fearless tour. It's holographic
Guitar picks. Those are badass.
Yeah.
What would you do if you're like if you had a kid and they weren't? Are you gonna have kids? Maybe you ever thought of that? I don't know if you.
Yeah.
If you had kids and they didn't like Taylor Swift.
Oh no, that's a requirement in
Oh,
my household.
yeah.
Like I'm gonna listen to it when they're in the womb.
Yeah, like we would bring back hitting kids, if we had to, if they didn't like Taylor Swift.
This was like something that like her fan club got. They're leather bracelets. She had a tutorial on how to tie it, and no one could figure it out. But I have 3 of these. And then this was my light stick from the Fearless tour. Now she does bracelets that sync with the lights of her show and with the music, but this was like what we had back in the day.
Yeah.
Now there's bracelets that sync with the music at her
Oh.
shows.
Wow.
And then I am going to just do a little promotion. I am in this book. I wrote my Swiftie story. I have 5 pages in this book of my Swiftie story and like what she means to me. And I'm going to be in a second one.
The Swiftie story.
It's the Swiftie story. It's by Ellie Ann. She has a YouTube as well. Her YouTube is All Too Swift. And she just did a collection of like Swifties and our stories of like how we became a Swiftie.
And you're in this.
I am in this. And then I'm going to be in her new book, which is going to be called Our Songs. And it's about like our favorite song and what it means to us.
Wow. That's pretty cool, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane, actually. And that book's available somewhere, I imagine?
On Amazon.
The Swiftie story on Amazon. Check it out. You can read Lily's writing. 5 pages you said you have in there?
Yep.
What are the page numbers?
I have it bookmarked. 60 through 65.
60 through 65.
Mm-hmm.
Good numbers. Good numbers.
4 numbers off.
Okay. Now, couple of things we got to get to. So people, after talking to Taylor Swift all day, people want to know, one, what's your favorite song?
Cold as You.
Cold as You.
Off of Debut.
Ooh.
But I also love All Too Well 10-minute version.
Yeah. Yeah.
Singing that with 60,000 other Swifties was just like euphoric.
Yeah.
So good.
I love, I do like that one with her and Ed Sheeran just because I love Ed Sheeran. I like, I'm trying to think what would be my favorite.
You said
man.
Safe and Sound too.
Yeah, dude, it might be Safe and Sound or, yeah. Or, no, what's the other one, bro? What's the one with the really crazy bass drop, bro? Trouble, bro. I knew you were Trouble,
I knew you
bro.
were Trouble.
Yeah. It's a single, bro, but it still
Pretty
slaps.
good live.
Yeah, it slaps. I got subs in my car, so that's like the only Taylor song that's like really
See,
putting
the
the subs
Rep
to work.
album, that's like,
Oh, that would have more
that
of
is
yeah.
the sub album.
Yeah.
Like, you have to listen to
I'll
it.
have to check more of it out. I know a little bit of it. Okay, thoughts on Me?
On you? Oh, on the song Me? I
Yeah.
like it. I don't know
Yeah.
why people hate it so much.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of slaps. I mean,
Is it a
Brendan
little bit of a
Urie's kind
slapper?
of a problematic person, but
Yeah. That's what I've heard.
I enjoy Me. And I wish she wouldn't have edited out, hey kids, spelling is fun. Because I I thought that was fun.
Yeah.
But I'm a teacher, so that's probably why.
That's fair. Now, a lot of people, they get critical of Taylor Swift. A lot of people, they look for reasons to be mad at her or be upset with her. One of the most popular recently, I don't know if you know where I'm going with this, is her private jet situation. Have you heard this?
But
how do you feel about this situation?
She's not the only one doing it, so I don't know why it matters. Like, I feel like people just attack her because she's Taylor Swift.
She does, I will say, I was asked about it today, so I pulled up the numbers, and the numbers are a little crazy. But I'm with you. She's not the only person who does it. But Mike, can you pull that up real quick? Pull up let's do the article to the left first. This was a headline of this article from the Daily Mail, I believe. Yeah. Taylor Swift is branded the biggest celebrity CO2 polluter of the year. Tops the list of stars' worst emissions after she called climate change horrific. People are saying she's a hypocrite. Now, I do think two things can be true. I think that she can be absolutely right about climate change and also be using too much CO2.
Yeah. Like, she's a human.
Which I guess is
is
a hypocrite, I guess, but this was what was crazy to me. And Mike is laughing about that cuz first off, it's terrible that her number's bad. Her number's bad, okay? But the fact that there's all these other people's whose numbers are almost right there, that's pretty alarming as well. That we have that's 10 people.
See, so like
that are going to use more than.
She's not the only one.
No, you're right. But
she's not very far off from the next person.
Yeah. What does that say? 8,293 tons. And a ton is 1,000, right? 2,000 of CO2 emission. That's a lot. That is a lot. And I know there's a big deal right now because a guy, he did this to Elon Musk a while back, and now he's done it to her, where they put a tracker, because it's public information where their planes fly to, because they have to use public airways and public airports and stuff. Pull this up. So this man, and I know she's upset about it, and I know other people are upset about it. Just make sure it's a little quieter. What did you just do there? Okay, then back it up. So this is her flight log of 2023.
Oh, yeah.
Can you
this guy, no.
I mean, and I love Taylor Swift, but some of these she could have driven. Like, what was all that right there? Those little ones. She's going to like Nashville to Atlanta.
There's a comment on the post that said that she took a 12-minute plane flight instead of a 26-minute drive in a car.
So for people that maybe couldn't hear Mike, she took a 12-minute plane ride instead of a 26-minute drive in a car. And this is starting to get that's a lot of money. But I mean, if you got 52 you said 62 albums of hers?
Yeah.
You probably paid for one of those at least.
Yeah.
At least, bro. That's craziness. It's still going. She has multiple private jets, which I'm not going to lie, that's a boss move as well.
See, like,
but do you have an opinion on it?
And I just feel like people need to leave her alone. And I feel like it's safer for her to take her own transportation places than to be exposed to the public. I
agree with that. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. I think the criticism comes from as someone who's championing climate change and wanting us to do things about it, maybe take the 26-minute drive with your homies. I think that's fair. I think otherwise, I mean, damn, that's a lot. I'm trying to be.
Bro, she's got miles for days.
I'm trying to be polite, but yeah, that is tough. That's a tough look. I just think I think most people are upset because they're like, it's not. I don't think it's really her. I think it's the system. The fact that there are all these millionaires and billionaires that can take these things.
I'm sure she's not the only one.
Well, she's not. We saw the list. Jay-Z. We saw Jay-Z.
That takes a
other Kim
12-minute
Kardashian
flight instead of a 26-minute car ride. I'm sure she's not the only one. Like, if you have money, you do whatever you want.
Yeah, I mean, but then also, take care of the environment. I think it's because of planes, because planes are so bad for CO2. Obviously, when you're flying with other people, you're kind of lessening that load per person of how bad it is. So I get why people would say that. But I was curious as someone who loves T Swift, and obviously I love T Swift too. And then people were mentioning this to me today. I thought we would get it. What's your final take on it? You think it's fine? You think it's okay because she's?
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like she's not the only one doing it. So.
Yeah. I can get behind that. Everybody's doing it. If I got a private jet, bro, I'm flying from Milwaukee to Brookfield, bro. Milwaukee to Brookfield and back for some Culvers, and that's it. Okay. This is the last thing I want to get to today.
Okay.
All right, and then we're gonna have to bounce out here. I know we got some reservations actually. Okay, I'm gonna give you a Taylor Swift album,
Okay.
and I'm gonna put it. It's gonna go up against.
Oh, I didn't do my ranking either.
Maybe we'll do a ranking at the end.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a Taylor Swift album, and I'm gonna give you. These are some of the most iconic albums of all time. These are all these albums that they're gonna be up against are on the Rolling Stones top 500 albums of all time.
Okay.
I want you to tell me which is better.
Okay.
Folklore or Metallica's Master of Puppets?
My brother's gonna be really mad at me, but Folklore.
Okay. All right. Reputation or Take Care by Drake?
Reputation.
All right, let's go. Lover versus Electric Ladyland by Jimi Hendrix.
I'll go with Jimi Hendrix because
Really?
Lover's my least favorite album.
Really? I
Mhm.
didn't think we were going to catch one, but we got one. Okay.
And I like Jimi Hendrix.
He's good, yeah. Wow, Jimmy's the only one who can compete.
My dad's gonna be proud of me for that.
Fearless versus AC/DC's Back in Black.
Fearless.
Okay. Midnights versus Frank Ocean's Blonde.
I don't really know Frank Ocean, so Midnights.
All right. Speak Now versus Abbey Road by the Beatles.
Oh, I'm gonna go with Abbey Road.
Oh,
Even though I
wow.
love Speak Now, but I also love the Beatles. So.
Oh, okay. Holy shit, dude. We got two. I did not think we were getting two. 1989 versus Straight Outta Compton, NWA.
1989.
That's racist. Taylor Swift.
I've never heard some of these
Debut
albums.
versus Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses.
I don't like Guns N' Roses, so Debut.
Okay, Red versus Pink Floyd, The Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, Pink Floyd.
Dude, holy
Love
shit.
me
This
some
is
Pink
just, like,
Floyd.
competitive. All right. Let's do Evermore versus Michael Jackson, Thriller.
Ooh, Evermore. That's a top 5 album for me, so.
Wow. Thriller's the top 5 album for like the world. Tortured Poets it's Tortured Poets Department. What
Yes.
is that it? That's
The
just what it's called?
Tortured Poets
The
Department.
Tortured Poets
Yep.
Department versus My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
By who?
Kanye West.
Yeah, you already know the answer.
Okay. Do you want to give me the quick speed version of your albums? Go from the bottom to the top to the best, worst to best Taylor Swift albums, and then we'll wrap
Okay,
up the
worst
show.
to best, Lover, Fearless. Okay, hold on. Midnights, 1989, Red TV, 1989 TV, Red TV. Folklore, Debut, Evermore, Folklore, Debut, Speak Now. I feel like I'm gonna miss one if I do it like this, and then Reps, and then TTPD, then Speak Now, then Rep. So yeah.
So Reputation's the best one.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
So good.
I'm gonna have to give
My
it
favorite
another
when I
listen.
was little was Speak Now, but
Now
as an adult, it's Rep.
yeah, I respect that. Well, dude, I want to say first off, Lily, thank you for being on the podcast today. Thank you for having some fun with us and taking our some of our silliness and our jokes and teaching us about Taylor Swift and everything there is to love about her, because it seems like there's a whole lot. I hope, and I mean this sincerely, I hope that if any of these, because there's going to be tons of clips of this episode, I hope that Taylor finds them, and I hope that she lets you sit in on a session, because you deserve it.
Thanks.
This is
I
dedication.
have a friend that went to the Lover secret sessions
Wow. Yeah.
in Nashville.
Really.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. My sister says Folklore and Evermore on top. Those are her favorites.
I like Evermore better than Folklore. And that is that's a very unpopular opinion. A lot of
Okay.
people like Folklore better. But
Really? Well, I just wanted to say thank you for being on the show. I appreciate it. I just appreciate you giving us the time of day, man. And
yeah. Thanks for having me on the show.
of course, dude. Of course. This was fun. You've kind of inspired. I think maybe we should do a new segment. Maybe every couple of months I have on a new person who is, I don't know if we'll find someone who's to the level of like you had your shit dialed in for T Swift. But if we can find someone, if you're out there listening and you have an artist that you're a huge fan of and you want to spill the tea and give us the lore, we've got this set up. We'll get you set up and we'll do it. That'd be cool. And this is all from you, so you started that.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift started a movement, but you started a new movement here that's
Woohoo.
definitely going to be...
I've always wanted to be on a podcast, so.
This is the first time?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. Congrats. Look at that. This is your debut.
It is.
Debut, yeah. And we're on, it's the Detox Taylor's version. Anything else before we wrap?
No.
Well, thank you. I really do appreciate it. I want to say thank you to everyone tuning in live, as well as those that are going to be listening days after over on Spotify or on Apple Music. I want to say a quick shout out to our patrons. They should be up on the screen right now. If you're interested in getting behind the scenes access to extra podcasts, extra videos, as well as a series where I break down how I mix, master, write, and record every single one of my songs. It's not going to be as cool as Taylor Swift, but I still do them. You can go to patreon.com/Darren Rita and help support the channel for as little as $1. Also want to say a quick shout out to Go Nutz for sponsoring another episode of the podcast. Really, really appreciate them. Go to thegonutz.com. Use code Rita47 to get a little bit of extra savings there. And this has been the 251st episode of the Detox Podcast.